All right, episode 73 of the Pop Culture Podcast starts right now. That intro.
Woo!
Yeah.
That was nice. It got real fast at the end. I was dancing, then I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Or you and my wife. Anyway, that was probably not appropriate. But our guest this week is TC DeWitt, the man, the myth, the legend. Hello, TC. Welcome back.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me back, you three. I love coming and talking nerd with you. So
yeah, we got a lot of nerd talk this week.
We also got some TC DeWitt submissions, I may have noticed.
Yes, you did get a few submissions. It was we could talk about that. We can talk about that later if you want.
Yeah.
On time, no less. I'm a little disappointed that we're not going to get submissions, but maybe it's not too late.
Well, we're trying to film something new this year. Like we are literally conceptualized and we're filming something for you guys specifically. A little horror piece that we were doing.
Nice.
And it wasn't going to be done in time, so I called Chris to send my regrets. I was like, we're not going to get done in time. He's like, do you have any old stuff? And I was like, yes, I do. So I just went into the filmography and I was like, we've never sent these 5. So I sent off a few of them. So if you don't accept them, that's fine. I never feel that you guys have any obligation to.
We may throw 1 or 2 in.
But we
yeah, I mean, I've told you this in the past that your films are actually really good. Like, never mind that you're a friend, you're a friend of us. Your films are really good and they're worthwhile. So it's not like nepotism or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're deserving. They're deserving.
You cannot prove nepotism. His films are that good. So
no, but
but you can't prove it.
We're gonna talk nepotism when we get to Rob Zombie.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
We're gonna get to the Munsters, and I got some feelings on the Munsters. You guys saw the trailer, except for Molly. You guys won't
get to see it.
Why don't we just let's just rip the Band-Aid off and
play it.
Trailer going here.
Start there. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe I have to watch this again.
Sorry, I like the logo. It's the old-fashioned Universal logo. I see where he's going. I like it. I dig it. I dig what he's laying down. Instant regret.
Halloween and the Devil's Rejects.
Terrible.
The greatest love story.
If you're gonna buy Halloween costumes, buy them from Party City.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brain of a super genius transplanted.
Richard Bragg, super talented actor, looks good in here. This is a good start, right?
It looks cheesy.
And then Sherry Moon Zombie comes
a
out.
man that every time he enters my crypt, it's like a stake through my dead black heart.
Chris, you are going to get flagged for showing this porn parody. You better stop right now.
Right.
No, wait till I show up.
Oh, that swipe.
Yeah, like Jeff Daniel Phillips, he's a super talented actor, but
it's hard to replace the original.
Yeah, and I appreciate that he's not trying to do just a Fred Gwynn impersonation. He's doing his own.
This looks like the set of Beekman.
Right.
It looks like a parody.
Yeah. Dan Roebuck is the best thing in this trailer. He's amazing as Grandpa. I think he's well cast as Grandpa Munster. Everybody else, not so much.
Is truly in love. Oh, come on, you know, and I know that we got to get rid of that bozo Herman Munster.
Yeah, I hope we don't get claimed for that music, but.
Well, one of the things I'll say about the quality of this, what we're seeing, is fascinating to me, but it's mixed badly too. Like the audio mix on this is just this trailer.
That's what
terrible.
I thought. Yeah, one of the comments that I made, I said, was this filmed on like an iPhone 10 with cam audio?
That's one of the things that interests me most about this is the overall quality of everything here. This is commercial filmmaking. This is a Halloween themed Taco Bell commercial.
Right.
That's why I'm wondering if the whole movie is going to be filmed like that, or like the last part.
It is. No, that's the whole thing. So when they announced this last year, I was really excited. I thought, oh man, this is Rob Zombie's the perfect director to take on the Munsters. He's going to do an amazing job. Man, I can't wait. I thought this was going to be like a tentpole Universal theatrical Halloween film. I thought they were going to go big.
Go rated R even.
Well, not even rated R, but I thought that this was going to be like a big theatrical experience, and no, it's not. Like that first teaser that they released a couple months ago, didn't really care for, but it's a teaser. What are you going to do? You can't really judge quality.
I know what it looked like.
Yeah, and then that trailer they dropped yesterday, I had to do some more digging, and this is a production of Universal 1440, which is their direct-to-video schlock label. The Scorpion King 5, Tremors 9. Distributed by Warner Home Media. And the scuttlebutt that I hear from people that know more about this particular project than I do, September 30th, direct to Peacock, 94-minute runtime. So
it looked like a musical without singing.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like I see the sense of humor, because that's the same sense of humor that the original show has. It's just
but I would expect better production value from.
Yeah, but if they added songs, it wouldn't look weird.
It would dent the pain a little bit. Here's what I'm curious about. Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses had a budget of $7 million, and the 2 Halloween films had a budget of $10 million.
Yeah.
This, what we just saw, is a film with a budget of $40 million.
Jesus.
Where did that money go? Because I'm wondering if there's some money laundering happening here.
Yeah, I don't know. And Rob Zombie, he's only had really 2 box office hits, and those are the Halloween films. Everything else has lost money or been a marginal success. I don't know. What the hell? I mean, I'm so confused on this. It just doesn't.
I think this is further proof that CERN really did break reality, and we're just continually getting the ripples of broken reality. That this is a major studio's release on a $40 million budget.
Well, get ready. They just did one 2 days ago now. Another one.
Oh, good. Keep it unraveling. I want to see.
And that's when this was released.
Get out of here.
No. I'm going to double check.
I mean, were they trying to look retro, doing the hokey text fly-in
Probably was intended to feel that way, but there's much better ways to homage this era and that style of filmmaking that Rob Zombie himself has already done.
Yeah,
I see this as PG, but I don't. That's not an excuse for the shortcuts this trailer is indicating this movie is taken.
Yeah, it has been rated PG, so it definitely is PG. Yeah, the MPA did rate it the PG, but I don't know. I'm so over. I think this is going to really kill Rob Zombie's studio career. I don't think he's going to get a major studio deal again. I don't see that happening.
Maybe he released a hokey-looking, pieced-together trailer to try to get people talking about it.
Oh, it's the Sonic method. I see where you're going with this, Molly. This is the Sonic method.
No publicity is bad publicity, and this is going to get me tons of people talking.
The official trailer page only has 116,000 views on the trailer. So even though we're complaining about talking about this, and there's certainly word online talking about what is this? Nobody's watching even the trailer.
I heard the doc's watching.
You watch it?
They do, yeah.
That's what I said, Dale. That's what I was saying. Chris is gonna get flagged here showing us that porn.
When's the last time you guys watched the real Munsters? Because he had me cracking up the other day.
It hasn't been that long ago.
Herman won a free country club membership, and he went there and was golfing, and he was leaving divots the size of mortar shells. And at the end of the round, he's like, man, with all this vandalism and stuff and hooligans going on, I have to decline my membership.
Man, meanwhile, Munsters has always been, in a lot of people's opinions, second to the Addams Family.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Wednesday, the trailer of Tim Burton's produced new series just came out. I don't know, a month ago. It was just a teaser, and we're getting a look at what that's going to be. And that looks, it looks Tim Burton-y, but it looks correct. It looks like the Addams Family should in a more modern lens. I would love to see something like the Munsters done in the way of, Barry Sonnenfeld did the 90s Addams Family. And it had a great sense of humor to it. It's still a very good movie. I recently rewatched over the last Halloween,
I like that
and
one.
was surprised how well that movie holds up. It's no surprise he went from that to Men in Black and crushed both of those movies.
You know what the biggest difference between Barry Sonnenfeld's Addams Family and Rob Zombie's Munsters movie is? Barry cast the right people in those roles.
Yeah, nuts.
You know,
Yeah.
we were talking about nepotism earlier.
Mhm.
I mean, it can't be any more clear with the Rob Zombie movie. Like Sherry Moon Zombie, you know, she might be a great person. I'm sorry if you're a fan, but she is a terrible actress. She's totally untrained. She's got no personality. She just doesn't have any business being a lead in any film like this. And if you've ever seen The Lords of Salem, where she was the lead, that right there will tell you that she's just doesn't have the chops. You know, nothing against her. She's not a very good actress, but she's Rob Zombie's wife. So maybe Rob just wants a double paycheck.
Yeah.
It's a shame because I kind of enjoy the Munsters almost more than the Addams Family.
Sure.
They're funny, and I mean, man, those facial expressions. Just, I know. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Jeff Phillips, you know, he's a really good actor. Maybe it'll be okay. Who knows? I mean, it's just a trailer. Who knows? I'll watch it.
Trailers lie all the time. So.
Yeah, you know, Jeff Phillips was the original Geico caveman. He's the guy that created that role. I mean, yeah. Who knows? We'll see.
All right.
So we're talking. You want to talk Thor now? You guys both saw Thor. Or you guys watched Thor. Thor.
To be correct, we need to say the full title. This is Thor 4, the fourth Thor, Love and Thornder. Okay, that's the full title of the
Love
movie.
and Thornder.
just to be clear, when you're speaking of Thor 4, the fourth Thor, Love and Thornder, you need to say the full title. It's only appropriate because we have 4 Thors now. We have Thor, the first Thor. We have Thor, the Dark Thor, Thor, the Good Thor, and Thor 4, the fourth Thor.
Okay.
Well, I bit my tongue when I did that, and guess what? Now my mouth is Thor. All right, I'll see myself out. It had to be done.
You've been very Thor coming. So I liked it a lot. Taika Waititi, it was very much a Taika Waititi film. Like Disney just let him do whatever he wanted, and that was okay by me because I had a blast. Some people online think that it was maybe a little too funny. There was too much humor. Thor's relegated to just being a dumb blonde doofus on screen, but I really enjoyed it. It was one of my.
I loved the goats. I loved them.
The goats, I like Taika Waititi's character. What's his name? Korg.
Yeah. There's a great scene, Natalie Portman.
Korg is Tom's.
Yeah, and
Korg is Tom's favorite.
Anytime Korg comes on the screen, I just get the giggles, so I know I love this movie a lot more than the online community.
I do see people being hard on this movie, and well, I can understand where they might be coming from. People said Ragnarok was too funny as well, but Taika Waititi does all his films, all the stuff that he's directly responsible for. He masks very deep messaging with his humor. His humor is great. He's got great sensibility and great timing, but most of his stories, if not all of them, are about some sort of arrested development and some sort of awakening of adulthood and leaving childhood behind. And Thor has always been funny, even from the first one. They hit him with that car a couple times. Oh, I love this. Give me another. Bah! Right? Like Thor is ridiculous. The only way to bring him into a mainstream audience was to have a little bit of fun with him. And certainly Taika has more fun with him. But I don't know, I guess it's this fine line of, okay, we want it to be funny, but don't make it too funny. But if you make it too serious, then we have the Eternals, and then we don't like that either. So you can't please everyone.
No. And I really liked it. It's one of my favorite. It's probably definitely my favorite Phase 4 Marvel films. I thought it was really well done. He went pretty deep into the LGBTQ themes with this, which I was surprised.
Yeah, a lot of ally language in this.
Yeah, it didn't feel forced. Go ahead, Molly.
I was just gonna say some people were just really upset by that, like that it was pushing it, but I didn't feel that way. I felt like it was very natural in there, and Korg is like an alien species. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say the Valkyrie comes from a planet of females. What else is she gonna be? Like,
right?
There's no men. there's no men.
This is not forced. This is the softest spoon-fed with the airplane you can ever get.
No, it wasn't. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like shoehorned in to fit any kind of agenda on anybody's.
Oh.
It was very natural, and it was
matter of fact. It was like I have 2 days.
Yeah.
It was that scene with Dwayne. That was
They held hands over a volcano.
hilarious. That cracked me up. I laughed out loud when they're hey, me and Dwayne holding hands and making a baby.
You have to sit in lava for a month and hold hands to make a baby.
Not just a guy named Dwayne. Dwayne the Rock.
Dwayne the Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. And he had a mustache.
Yeah. I think the issue that is underlying the problem with Phase 4, just in general. I saw a flow like a chart of Phase 1 and 2 were about 12 hours. Phase 3 was about 24 hours. And so far, with the end of Ms. Marvel, Phase 4 is 100 hours of content, which is a lot.
Yeah.
With the end of Iron Man, the very first thing that kicked this off, we knew where we were heading, where these movies were heading. The audience had something to anticipate because you get the stinger of Nick Fury saying, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. Oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
Get us to the Avengers. Great. At the end of the Avengers, we got to look at Thanos. He just turned and smiled at the screen. Oh, this is going to go to the Infinity War. What?
Yeah.
With Phase 4, there's no clear direction or idea of where this might be heading. Because if someone wants to complain about like, oh, Thor 4, the fourth Thor did this and that, yeah, but actually, since I'm in the know, that's actually directing us towards this. Oh, okay. Thanks for the right. It's up to us nerds to explain it to the plebes that like it's gonna trust me. Doom is coming, but there's no
the multiverse they brought in.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, the multiverse they brought it in, and then
stuff.
Phase 5 might be when the multiverse gets really strange, like Hulk kills everybody in the universe, or Deadpool is the only guy left after a zombie apocalypse movie. So now it's like
between
you can just do really strange stuff.
And the Loki series and Doctor Strange and all of the multiverse stuff they've been doing. It's.
You can clearly see, multiverse is clearly a recurring thing in all of this. Even Ms. Marvel dealt with multiversal cracks in reality. But if that's going to be Kang the Conqueror is going to be the villain in Quantumania. That's not the culmination of something. That is a villain for a film. My guess is the final film in Phase 4. Try saying that 5 times fast. Is Fantastic Four. And if we look at the tradition of the phases, the Avengers movie is second to last, followed by some sort of epilogue that bridges between phases. If Kang the Conqueror is, and canonically in the comics, Kang is the descendant of Reed Richards. If Kang's going to be the villain in Quantumania, and maybe that's where we backdoor introduce our Fantastic Four, and then move to Fantastic Four, no bigger villain in the MCU than Dr. Doom himself. Perhaps that's where we will get a clear sense of where the next few years of Marvel is going. I'm just hypothesizing here, but that's my
if
my
they
guess.
Can get a Fantastic Four to stick.
That's true.
Do they want to gamble
but
on
they've
that
been doing
again?
pretty good with their casting and rebranding these movies that would have bombed or had bombed in the past. I mean,
well, they could use Jim Halpert as coming out.
He was
that universe. He was pretty good.
I think they can breathe life into the Fantastic Four.
I do too.
They can do it better.
Yeah, how do they introduce them though? Is it going to be an origin story? Is this going to be the creation of the Fantastic Four? Or are they going to already be a thing? How do they introduce them?
I think they'll probably do the origin. They have done for everything else.
Yeah, Doctor Strange gave us a hint because Strange knew Reed Richards from the 616 universe. Reed was like, "Didn't you guys disappear in the 60s?" Okay, so that suggests that the Fantastic Four movie would take place in the 60s if they're going to do the origin, or maybe half the 60s and half in modern day if they whatever happens in Quantumania. I would love to see them turn up in Quantumania, but I'm curious to see where they go with the Fantastic Four, as well as mutants, which mutants have been officially name dropped or word dropped in Ms. Marvel. So I know a lot of people want to like poo-poo on Kevin Feige, like, oh, he should have got out while he was ahead. We should have stopped after Endgame. Like, there's no stopping this train. You don't stop this billions of dollar train.
There a deleted scene in what you call it with Doctor Strange with the Scarlet Witch, they had Magneto in there.
Yes, they did film.
So they did film Magneto.
I mean, yeah, because Wanda is the Scarlet Witch. I mean,
yeah, she's Magneto's daughter.
Yeah.
So
yeah, which originally they couldn't do because at the time when they made that, Fox had Magneto. They couldn't use that. So, yeah.
And they've had Quicksilver in it. I mean, it's just
boner. There's that humor that people don't like. Actually, we can go.
I love it.
Move back to Thor here. I thought Natalie Portman did a great job. It was great seeing her coming back and getting a chance to do more, to have a chance to really shine on screen as a character other than playing second banana, playing girlfriend to Thor.
You know what? The Lady Thor was not even forced at all in the movie, which I was worried about too. No one even brought it up until now.
No,
so
they just were like, "Oh, it's Thor."
You're
they didn't even call her Lady Thor. She's just a Thor.
She was the Mighty Thor.
I liked how jealous they made Thor with the hammer, and then
Stormbreaker keeps sneaking in. Oh, hey, how you doing? I was just, that's not what it looks like.
It would be great having an axe just patrolling the house at night, though.
I'm excited to see where they. Oh, go ahead, Molly.
I'm excited to see where they go with it too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We have lots. There's lots of potential in this setup to create Thor the father. To obviously Hercules is hint at with he's here, he's there, he's every freaking where. Roy Kent, which was wonderful to see him pop up.
Yeah, they're gonna bring in the Pantheon now, the whole Greek lot of them.
Well, it sounds
if they
like
want Taika to keep going, yes, please, because he makes entertaining movies. I'm sorry this was too funny for some people.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely made it seem like that in the end scene, the credit scene. They had Zeus all ramping up to go to war.
That's right.
Yeah, in the comic books, Hercules was kind of like an anti-hero. Sometimes he was an ally. Sometimes he wasn't. So it'd be maybe funny to have him like a buddy cop kind of movie with Thor.
Oh yeah. Give us Tango and Cash with Thor and Hercules.
Yeah, and more Russell Crowe as Zeus because he fucking nailed it as Zeus. He was hilarious.
Yeah, they need to bring Loki back though. I know with the little mini series. I was like
killing Thor's family members. Stop. Molly wants to bring him back to kill him again. The guy's he can't take anymore.
No, Loki has learned his lesson. He's not going to die anymore.
Well, what if he dies for real then?
You can always just grab another Loki, like a multiverse Loki. There's tons of them.
He has no family left. Stop pulling him back from the dead just to kill them again and break his heart. Stop it. He has a Loki tattoo.
Shut up. I love Loki.
I love Loki. I would love to see Uncle Loki. Like, stay here with your Uncle Loki. Don't do anything he says.
So give me some predictions on Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. What do you guys think?
That is next, isn't it?
Yep.
Ooh.
And let me add that Disney's starting to promote it. We're starting to see T-shirts, some key art coming out. We've got every character shown except for Black Panther.
Have they covered at all in any of the movies? Him dying and who would succeed him. So how are they gonna? They're gonna have to do maybe some CGI or
just ignore it.
Okay, so they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna recreate.
No, just ignore it. Maybe.
They're just gonna do like a.
I don't see how can they ignore it.
They can't just try to recast and like play like nothing happened. They
that's what they did on Roseanne.
They're not going. They already said they're not going to recast T'Challa. So there is no T'Challa in the next movie. How are they going to explain him not there? And who's going to take up the mantle of Black Panther?
Well, I thought that the chick was it his sister who was the real techie like.
Yeah.
Shuri,
yeah.
Yep.
I originally thought that she might become Iron Man, but I mean, I love her. I love her character.
Riri Williams. Riri Williams is in Wakanda Forever, and she's the new Iron Man. She's Ironheart.
Ironheart, yeah.
She will be in there, yeah.
We'll see her in Iron Wars, the Disney Plus series with Don Cheadle. It's really this is an interesting thing that they have to do here, right? Because to lose him in real life, to lose Chadwick Boseman,
yeah.
Chadwick himself said he does think that they should recast T'Challa because he didn't own T'Challa, but they're respectfully holding off on that. Maybe we'll see a new T'Challa down the road, but for this, I hate to see them start the second Black Panther with the passing of their leader, because that's how the first Black Panther started, was acknowledging the passing of T'Challa's father, T'Chaka.
Well, maybe they just play it off as if like all these years have passed and like they've already, so they don't really have to address it. There's just a new, I don't know.
Well, the one thing I hope they don't do is what they did in The Rise of Skywalker and use old footage of Carrie Fisher and try to shoehorn it, make it fit into different scenes, because that was terrible. That was just a disservice to Carrie Fisher. I don't want them to do that.
Yeah, it's we are, at least we've gotten a little bit of hint that Namor is going to be the villain in this, or at least he'll be present in it, but he's traditionally a villain first before he's a hero.
Yeah.
The king of Atlantis himself. Yeah, Tim or Tom.
Do you think that they could just say something like, you know how T'Challa lost his powers and then took it again? Like, if you take it the second time, it kills you really quick. If you want it back or something, just write that into the story. Like, hey, sorry to tell you, if you give him up, it's supposed to be forever. If you get him, it's only, you got like 3 years max.
You can't take it a second time.
You can't take it a second time.
I don't know if that's comic book. Well, I suppose they don't have to stick to comic book canon. They don't.
And everybody would forgive them because we have to write something, right, guys?
They could go the way of Fast and the Furious. The Fast and the Furious franchise did not kill Brian O'Connor off. He is still alive and well in the Fast and the Furious franchise. We just don't see him anymore. We see his car driving. They talk about him. He's just not there. He's taking care of the children.
He fell in love and he went elsewhere.
Yeah, he's taking care of the kids. And
holding hands in a volcano for a month.
He's off Nick Fury.
So to keep T'Challa alive, but just not have him present there, that would be a tough ask, because of this is going to be threatening the kingdom and all. We need help. It runs into the problem of like other Marvel movies when the threats are big. It's like, why don't someone call Captain America over here? Well, why didn't they call Hulk? Why didn't they call Thor? It's like, because they weren't contractually obligated to be in this movie. So yeah, I trust that they're going to handle this sensitively, and it'll be sad to not see. I currently have a Black Panther poster. The Black Panther's up on my wall currently. I rotate my posters out from time to time, and Wakanda Forever being next. I threw Black Panther back up, and it's sad. It really is sad that he was gone.
He was great.
I'm gonna buzzkill everyone. I didn't like the Black Panther movie.
I liked it.
I don't like it when it did two of the things I don't like in superhero movies. When the superhero loses the power, okay, it did that. And then when the superhero fights the same powered superhero, it did that. It did both of them.
It broke Tom's two
Marvel
rules.
Movies.
Yeah, it broke my rules, and I'm like, it's okay. It wasn't.
What
the hype was?
What if they use the multiverse thing and just be like, in this multiverse?
Just have somebody kick a computer and it switches universes where he doesn't exist.
Well, they've been doing a lot of the multiverse. That would be another way to explain it, that he didn't exist in this one, or never,
Somebody spilled coffee on the multiverse machine.
Yeah, don't want them to start
you don't have the he died, and you don't have the he's gone and could possibly return, if we need help.
I don't want them to start using the multiverse to cover up lazy story writing, though. I don't want them.
Sure.
I
wonder if we'll get Michael B. Jordan back at all for Killmonger. I know the rumor is that bring him back. Yeah, but
I've heard that. I've heard that rumor.
Maybe he survived and became the next Black Panther.
Well, there is a Killmonger currently in canon. He's just trapped in a pocket dimension, being guarded by Doctor Strange.
Oh, thank God! I thought it was a different different dimension. I'm glad he's only in a pocket. Whatever. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't use the multiverse for lazy writing.
No, it's in What If, the big villain in What If for the essentially the Avengers episode, the finale of the series, was Killmonger with the Infinity Gauntlet, and the way they defeated him was putting him in a pocket dimension with Ultron and Dark Doctor Strange. who is the guard of that pocket dimension. And so there is a Killmonger readily available to pluck out of the multiverse in canon. And it wouldn't be the first time they've taken a cartoon, someone from What If, and brought them into the big screen, because we saw Haley Atwell as Captain Carter. Granted, that wasn't the Captain Carter from that series, but we did see her in live action.
I have a question about the Infinity Gauntlet. So Thanos went to all this trouble to get the Infinity Stones, right? Mm-hmm. Why didn't he just go after Thor to get his hammer to go to eternity and wish half the population of the universe away? Wouldn't that be easier?
If he knew about it.
Yeah,
but
if he
didn't know about it, why wouldn't he?
Common
legend, right? That was a legend, a myth. The Infinity Stones were real.
That's true as well. And also, it's not just Stormbreaker; it's just the Bifrost. The Bifrost was
Bifrost. That's right, the Bifrost. Well, go pluck out Heimdall's eyes.
The real answer
grab
is
Heimdall by the balls and say, "Send me here."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's it. It's easy to go. Oh, I want to just. But it didn't exist yet. They hadn't written that story yet. But also, if he didn't know about it, there are plenty of things on this planet that I'm not familiar, that I don't know about, that would make my life a whole lot easier.
Plus,
I don't know about it.
Eternity was just one wish, right?
Yeah.
The gauntlets are you can do whatever the frick you want with them.
Infinite wishes.
I mean, you do this,
and
you poof your happy people away, and then you can just keep going if you want.
He was all busted up after that one snap. He was all busted up. He couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah,
he could have asked for the stones in a better gauntlet.
He did snap the stones a second time. Snapped a second time to destroy them. That's the beginning of Endgame.
Yeah. He snapped them twice.
Yeah, but did you see what he looked like at Endgame?
Yeah, I mean, it messed up his hand. No doubt about it. I'm not arguing that, but it was, and whatever.
How many shits that guy having him? I can't imagine too many.
When are they going to bring Lady Death in?
This is some serious nerd talk. Let's get into
Yes, it is. That's okay.
Theorizing over how many snaps Thanos has in his gauntlet.
At least two.
At least two. We've asserted that there's at least two.
When do you guys think they're going to bring in Lady Death? Because wasn't Thanos supposedly doing that for her?
Yeah, I don't think we'll see her. I don't think we'll The only other occasion in the comics, at least in a major sense, that Death ever played a part, aside from Thanos, is with Deadpool. Deadpool falls in love with her and wants to impress her as well. But I don't think she's a character that they need to there's other ways to go. If they were going to do Death in the MCU fashion, they would have found some skewed way of doing it. They had Hela available. She was the goddess of death in Asgard. So I theorize, some people theorize, that's who Thanos is going to do this for. No, that we saw Cate Blanchett, one and done, and
played by Melissa McCarthy.
That was fun. That was.
I died.
Yeah,
that was perfect casting for the play.
So, what do you guys think about the Sony Marvel universe? Anybody see Morbius aside from me?
I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah. It was a pretty good movie for 1998.
Yeah. It's another movie I had really high hopes for. I thought, Jared Leto's going to show us he can do a comic book movie. Disappointed. I don't know. Now Craven's going to be the next one coming out, and that's got fans up in a tizzy too. He's an animal preservationist in the movie, which of course is completely different from his comic book origins. He's a mighty hunter. He hunts all these endangered animals and trophy hunts them.
Joe Exotic should play Craven the Hunter.
Joe Exotic would be good. Yeah, Joe Exotic would be good. So.
If I may do a quick little plug concerning Craven the Hunter, for my screenwriting podcast, The Studio Demands It, our season finale this year is The Amazing Spider-Man 3, where Craven plays the villain, and we went with a very traditional Russian Craven the Hunter. On Sunday, the 24th of this month, we will be dropping the fully produced table read, fully voice acted, scored, and sound effects.
Wow.
So if you're itching for a real Craven the Hunter, then that will be available online on the 24th.
Tom's itching for it.
I am.
I have really, really enjoyed these Marvel movies and the way they've been doing them and casting them. And from my point of view, I never read the comics. So I don't necessarily know what's coming, but I'm always watching them with Tom, and he'll just go, "Oh, it's gonna be this, and it's gonna be awesome." Like,
how often is he right? When
What?
he says something's going to be awesome, how often is he right?
he's always right.
He's always right. Oh, okay.
I told you how Endgame exactly was going to happen a year before it did. With the Ant-Man and everything.
Although
Right up his butt.
Flick me.
you did not want to watch Ant-Man because you thought it was going to suck, so you were wrong.
Well, that
on
was
that
the first Ant-Man I thought was going to be hokey.
Ant-Man was really good. I like
Ant-Man
that.
was
was.
great.
He didn't even want to watch it. He was like refusing to watch it, and then
I'm
finally,
like, I
one day
gotta
we were
cut these
bored.
movies off somewhere at one point, and
And he
now
was
I'm like, okay, fine, I'm never cutting anything off.
He was like, "Fine, we'll watch Ant-Man. We got nothing else to do," and we loved it.
With the Marvel movies, man, you can't miss one. You miss one, you miss a
No,
lot.
that was the thing. I didn't know that my mouth was full when Ant-Man came out, and they're like, no, there's a lot more. You need this. And I'm like, fine, I'll see it. And then I loved it. I'm like, you're right, that was good.
Yeah, that was good. I'm curious what Edgar Wright's Ant-Man was going to be like. I was actually looking forward to that. I was bummed out when he didn't get that. Sounded like it was going to be a good movie, but I liked what we got.
I think if James Gunn had gotten Guardians of the Galaxy sooner, or if Ant-Man had been planned a little later, right? Because everything's in development and overlapping and whatnot.
Yeah.
James Gunn changed the game when it came to what Marvel could get away with.
Yeah.
He took very obscure characters on a universe of movies that had already been built on what were relatively the bottom tier characters and made them the freaking Avengers. My mom can tell you who Tony Stark is. Guardians of the Galaxy changed what Marvel could get away with. And then we had like Taika Waititi coming in for Thor Ragnarok and really putting his vision on something. We just got a very Sam Raimi Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Marvel being able to trust visionary directors who have a very clear lens that they shoot through. I think if they'd waited just a little bit longer to develop something with Edgar Wright, now Edgar Wright could do whatever he wanted. I feel like they would trust him. Whether he would want to come back, that's to be determined, I suppose. But now there's enough trust in us as audience members to accept what certain directors are going to give us. And I would love to see more of that. I would love to see more like Sam Raimi really going all Raimi all over Doctor Strange. I'd love to see.
Who would you like to see direct if they did like a Hulk one?
See, Hulk is such a
hero that doesn't want to be a hero.
I can answer that on my behalf. What I want to see, Michael Bay, because nobody does destruction like Michael Bay. I think Michael.
Yeah, that's a great. Oh my God, Michael Bay. You're right. I think you win that one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just imagining
all of the Transformers movies smashed into just the Hulk doing it all.
That's all you need.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Who does TC? Who do you want to direct the Hulk film?
To direct a Hulk film,
we probably won't get a standalone Hulk film.
Yeah, I don't expect it because Universal still has their thumb on the scale for Hulk movies, which is why we can't have, or why Disney can't produce a solo Hulk movie.
Yep.
We're gonna get plenty of Bruce Banner, I'm sure, in She-Hulk. Hulk works best, even the Incredible Hulk, the Edward Norton one, the best portions of that are when they delved into creature feature horror type sensibilities, right? The whole sequence in South America where we don't see him, we see him in shadows and they play it like a horror movie is better suited for Hulk. Based on just the recent horror movies that I've seen, and someone who already has a relationship with Marvel would be Scott Derrickson, who did the first Doctor Strange. Watching The Black Phone, Sinister, he's got a great sense of horror. And then looking at his first major film, which was The Day the Earth Stood Still, he has a very thoughtful sci-fi mind. Combining that, get C. Robert Cargill back to write the screenplay, giving us a Hulk that verges more into the horror territory.
Ooh, I'd like that idea.
Yeah, I
that'd be good.
That would be a way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched The Black Phone again last night. I didn't realize it was on VOD, so I had to buy it. I'm gonna watch it again tonight. It's one of the best horror films I've seen in a long time.
Yeah,
just amazing. Molly, did you see The Black Phone? Put it on your list. You've
Right.
got to see the Black Phone.
Every time Molly's on, we leave with homework. We're finishing up The Boys just now.
Yeah, the Black Phone, man. If you follow me on social media, I gave everybody free advance passes in Milwaukee that wanted to see it. But it's one of the best horror films in recent years. It really is. Like, it is intense. It is scary. It is violent. It is everything you want in a horror film and more. It's just so.
And the script is so well written. Everything pays off. There's not a wasted thing in the movie. It was very reminiscent of Mike Flanagan's stuff, that he's been doing on Netflix with Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass. Like, just, you can have a throwaway, follow the tropes horror movie, and there's certainly, Blumhouse loves to give us those. But when you really craft a fine piece of, like, a fine script and bring it to life with a lot of calculated, thoughtful, like, development, like, it was shockingly good. I did not expect to like it as much as I did.
Every once in a great while, a horror film will come along and, like, really knock my socks off, and that says a lot, because I watch a lot of horror films.
The
and
trailers look good. I remember seeing the trailers and they creeped me out.
This one just it grabbed me. It didn't let me go until it was over, and it sat with me, and I thought about it, and it's so good, so good.
Bring Scott Derrickson back, because he got bumped off of Doctor Strange 2. Bring him back. Give him Hulk. Like, let's see. That would be my pitch. I know that's an odd choice, but someone who's played in Marvel before and someone who understands horror. Yeah,
that's a good pick. I gave you an A+ on that. I'd like to see that. I would buy a ticket to that. Probably.
And we can have them both with the multiverse. So give me both them.
Yes, get the Michael
Bay and put them in theaters same time.
Directed by Scott Derrickson, produced by Michael Bay.
I mean, the Hulk could always be like the big end guy, right? Because don't you get World Breaker Hulk?
You get a lot of versions of Hulk, yeah.
Look at Molly not reading the comic books about World Breaker Hulk.
I've heard things.
Just listen to me. I thought Hulk was coming back as that. I did not expect Professor Hulk in Endgame.
We could always get Mr. Fix-It as well. Like, move to Gray Hulk and get him in the suit and fedora. Yeah. So much to do with that kid. Honestly, the best run of the comics is Peter David's run, for my money. It delves into that horror elements, that more monster creature feature kind of stuff, and it's a very thoughtful exploration of a damaged mind, which Hulk comes from trauma, and right now Professor Hulk seems to have coped very well with his therapy. So whether or not we get back to Hulk Smash, TBD.
That was going to be a question. Guys, do you guys ever see us going back to the old Hulk?
Have to.
I mean, the gentle Professor Hulk is just like, he's just a ruse.
It's fine to give Ant-Man tacos that one time, but I don't need more of that.
You can always break a character again, and if anyone could get broken and get him mad, it's Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
I missed that old angry Hulk just smashing everything.
Best angry Hulk we got in film, for my money, is Avengers 2. The one who just thrashes through South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see where the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes. Wakanda Forever. What's after Wakanda Forever? Anybody know? Is there anything announced?
Well, She-Hulk will be on Disney Plus next. And then there's plenty of Disney Plus shows that are coming, but I'm actually not sure what comes after. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3's and then the holiday special are both in production. Actually, they finished filming Guardians 3, so that could be coming down the pipe as well, sooner rather than later. Captain America 4 is in development right now, so we're never going to be for a lack of Marvel content.
Captain Americas are my least favorite to watch.
Yeah.
Something I love about Marvel, there's a few things that they have mastered. And one thing I find interesting about Marvel is everything Marvel has created is someone's favorite thing.
Yeah.
You can talk to 10, 15 different people, and everyone's going to have a different, that's my favorite. Oh, yeah, give me Thor the second Thor. Really? That's your favorite? Yeah, man. Darcy's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, but this new Captain America is going to be a different Captain America, right?
It's Sam. It's going to still be Sam.
Well, right. Oh, okay.
Did you watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, we watched.
Yeah, so he's
I know I
Captain
did.
America now. I know some people are like, "Oh, Bucky should be Captain
Oh, I
America."
forgot.
Yes, the international terrorist Bucky
Yeah.
Barnes should be.
No, I
the
forgot
Captain
that there was
America.
already a movie with him as okay.
Yeah.
I just yeah.
Shouldn't the Avengers just be like, "Hey, Bucky, since Captain's gone, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you were his +1. Can you go away?
Aw, you leave Bucky alone.
Poor
Get out of
Bucky.
here."
Yeah, I know a lot of people's favorite Captain America is the Winter Soldier, but the first one is my favorite. I think that's the best Captain America.
I think that one's better than Winter Soldier too.
Yeah,
I like the Winter Soldier. I mean, I like all the Captain America movies, but that first one I thought was really well done.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Joe Johnson, man, Rocketeer. I knew we were in good hands when he was the one doing it.
Yeah,
and that goes to the giving the right director the right property, because he was able to tap into what makes the Rocketeer great and bring that to Captain America.
Yeah, boy, that's a movie I haven't seen in a long time.
Love the Rocketeer. Love it. It's one of my that was the first movie I saw in theaters without parental supervision, and I was 9. My mom just dropped me and my friend Jared off at the theater, Market Square Cinema in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
The first time I ever had Pizza Hut was in a Rocketeer-shaped personal pan box. It was the helmet.
Yeah. There's a bar here in California called the Idle Hour that the inside of it is themed after the Rocketeer. So they have a giant bulldog room that looks like the old bulldog bar from the movie. Love it.
That came out in 1991. Yeah, I remember. I saw it in the theater, but I was 19 when I saw that. I'm 10 years old. Jeez.
I haven't seen it since.
I
don't remember much of it.
I don't know. First movie I ever saw by myself in the theater was One Crazy Summer.
With,
Dad dropped me off at Southridge. John Cusack, yep.
Oh, Southridge.
Is that the basketball one? Where he lies about playing basketball?
Yeah, hoops, because he plays hoops. He plays hoops.
Oops, there you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, though, did anyone else think that Chris Pratt looked odd in the beginning of this Thor? Like, his face looked different. He looked
a little bit more fun.
Weird. Like, we were almost like wondering if it was just like CGI'd in there. Like, it looked
like,
weird.
so they didn't have to pay him. I actually thought that. Like, his face is just off a little bit. I wonder if they green screened him the whole time, or.
I just want to
went and Googled it.
I want to give a little anecdote here. You're talking about green screening or CGI face. Disney bought the image of Mark Hamill. They gave him one lump sum, one payment, so they could use his face on characters. They did this years ago. Nobody knew what they were going to do about it until The Mandalorian came out and they had CGI Luke Skywalker. So Mark Hamill got a big paycheck for Disney to use his likeness.
Give me by your face, please.
Anyway,
well earned.
Bought his face.
Maybe it was the facial hair, and he could be like in a different weight.
How do you?
They just said they made him look scruffier, but it looked more like a different face.
He was stressing out looking for Gamora.
He's depressed. He lost the love of his life.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody takes your picture, how do they not own that picture of your face? They don't own They can't use the. I don't understand how you can own your face.
Bought the likeness of face to use in whatever projects they're using.
Okay.
He got a paycheck. I'm sure that's all he cares about.
So does that mean now everybody who has a picture of him and sells it now has to pay?
Well, if you're going to make a film with him, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure that's you're delving into some weird copyright territory.
Well, I want to sell this, guys. I'm very curious.
I wonder with that they've proven the extent at which they can take that CG, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
They are like just on the other side of the uncanny valley. It's like near.
The Queen was a hologram this year. And everybody was waving to her in the game.
I'm curious if they have Carrie Fisher's likeness, they have Mark Hamill. If they can get Harrison Ford's as well, if the culmination of these Star Wars shows will be a post Return of the Jedi, bring everyone back. Like Harrison Ford will earn the easiest paycheck of his life. Like, do I have
to be a fully CGI'd?
Do I have to do anything? No. Is All's Nine Right going to do it again? No, it's going to be you. You're going to whatever. I don't care. Have Mark do my voice.
He does a good Harrison Ford.
But maybe we'll see the original cast back again alongside Ahsoka and Mandalorian and Mando and a couple other characters. Like,
yeah, a de-aged Han was heavily rumored for the Boba Fett series. Unfortunately, that didn't come through. I would like to see that.
I would as well. Although I like Solo. I think Alden Ehrenreich did a perfectly fine job. I actually really think that movie is much better than people gave it credit for.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed Solo. Like, it is.
Oh, good. I'm in good company.
It is in the top tier of my Star Wars.
No, I loved it, but it wasn't Han Solo's character. That's my only beef. It was a great movie. It wasn't Han Solo.
I see.
It was. His name was literally in the movie.
He's saying he didn't act like Han Solo. He should act.
Everybody wanted that one guy that does that Harrison Ford impersonation. I can't remember what his name is. Jamie something. TC.
They used him in The Age of Adeline to play a younger Harrison Ford as well.
Yes. And I was really against that. Like, I didn't want an actor to come on and do like a Harrison Ford impersonation. I wanted an actor to come on to do his own thing, to be his own Han Solo. And that's exactly what we got with Alden Ehrenreich. I thought he did an awesome job as a young Han Solo. It was so sad going to see that in the theater, because I've gone to, the very first screening of every single Star Wars film since 1977, right?
Wow.
I've been there day one, been there to the earliest screening, and every one of them has always been a sellout. Not an empty seat in the house. I went to Solo. There was like 10 people in the theater with me. It was so disappointing. It is such a good film, and I think people just aren't going to give it a chance. That's the thing. People are shitting on it that they've never seen it. They won't watch it.
I like the film. I just think he needed to be more of a scoundrel and not such a good guy that they made him. I think he needed to be more of a dirtbag. Yeah, but he didn't. The entire movie was
a lesson for him to learn how to shoot first.
Yeah, and he did. He shot Tobias.
Yeah, this was his origin story, Tom. This is how he becomes a scoundrel.
He did not hesitate to murder Tobias in cold blood. So that was pretty scoundrel to me.
One of the things I find amusing about the reaction to Solo is there's as discussed many times ad nauseum. Chris and I have discussed this between the two of us thousands of times. And it's the fan base, the angry fan base.
It wasn't the Solo up here. I wanted the one up here on the screen. You didn't make that happen.
The thing I find amusing is that there's this contingent of fan base that's mad that we don't want women in our main character role. We don't want people of color in our main character role. We don't want these new characters. We don't want stop pushing your agenda on us. Okay, fine, fans. Here's an original character played by a dude. We are giving you exactly what you want. Oh, it's the lowest grossing of all the Star Wars movies? Guess what we're never going to do again? Listen to you assholes. Now let's go back to our billions dollars mistake movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everybody blames Kathleen Kennedy, which ultimately, I guess, the responsibility falls on her. But she, she's not a creative. She doesn't sit and write films. She lets her creatives make the creative decisions. She lets her writers write, and she lets her directors direct. She gives them the freedom. That's why we got The Last Jedi, right? Love it or hate it. It's growing on me over the years. It's not terrible. Some things I don't agree with, but I enjoy it for what it is. I've seen The Last Jedi more than any other sequel trilogy film, if that speaks for anything. Mm-hmm. But Kathleen Kennedy let Rian Johnson make the film that he wanted to make. Whether that was a mistake or not, that's personal decision. But Kathleen Kennedy trusts her people. She trusts them to make the creative decisions.
Mm-hmm. She gave us The Mandalorian. So we can't. She gets to get the credit and the blame for whatever we get.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. You can blame her for everything bad, but you got to give her the credit for everything good.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny we opened this episode of this conversation talking about Rob Zombie and the Munsters, and we talked about Taika Waititi, and here we are moving to Star Wars. Rian Johnson got brought up now. And there's a theme in this about people with vision, people who approach their projects with a very clear sense of what they want to create, and being given the freedom to do so for good or bad. And I don't know exactly where to wrap that up into a tight little bow, but it is interesting that we go back to looking at Rob Zombie and like, this is the movie you wanted to do, dude? Okay. Looking at Thor, like Taika made the movie he wanted to make, and people are loving it. It's made $500,000 in a week. It's doing fine. The money counters.
Yeah, haters
they're
gonna
happy.
hate,
But if you listen to the toxic fans, just like Star Wars has its toxic fans, so did the Marvel films. Well, it hasn't made $1 billion, so it's a colossal failure for Disney.
Yeah. Look, it just needs to exceed. It needs to make a profit, right? And that, by and large, you can kind of account for films. Just sort of the rule of thumb in Hollywood is whatever the released budget is, double it, because that will account for marketing and distribution. Yeah. So Rob Zombie needs to make more than $80 million in order to make the money back for the Munsters. Just for clear reference, not even any of his Halloween films made $80 million. Yeah. So meanwhile, Taika, worked on a budget of probably, I could look it up, but I'm just going to guess below 200 million. 100.
I pose a question to you guys. If you were working for marketing and that is the trailer they gave you, would you have just said, we don't have a trailer for this movie?
Yeah, we can't.
And think you may get more people to come than I think I might have saw it if I didn't see the trailer, believe it or not.
Right. You're right.
I might have seen it. Did you see the trailer? No.
This trailer is hot garbage. We're not putting this out.
Now I know I'm not seeing it. So at least in the theater.
Trailers can trick people into seeing movies.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Suicide Squad's a great, sorry, let's get this correct. Just Suicide Squad, the David Ayer one. Right? That movie was completely altered. The marketing campaign completely changed once they released that first trailer with Bohemian Rhapsody on it. And so you can hire a really good trailer house to cut. In fact, I would all but guarantee that right now we could go find a Munsters trailer that someone's recut to be a better looking movie.
Probably. Just from their,
make it black and white, add some grain to it. Yeah.
But what I want to do, I'll go find there's a Munsters made for TV movie from when I was a kid that I remember watching where they go to Hawaii or something like you do. I'll just find that trailer. I'll release that and just put Rob Zombie's name on it. No one will know the difference. Wow, those look like the original actors. Wow.
Looks great.
Well, maybe it'll be good. Maybe. I mean, I'll see it. I'll watch it. I'll stream it on Peacock. Maybe it'll be okay.
Good luck.
I'm not holding my breath.
I'm probably getting more homework either way.
I made a post on social media. I was just rallying against this film. I was just ranting on it. And like 6 hours later, the Dr. Destruction, Dale, sends me, we got tickets to go see Rob Zombie in Chicago. So I know if we get an interview with him, I know that the doc is going to say what I posted on Facebook.
Of course he is. You're going to defend yourself.
I'm sure he's still watching. Please don't say to Rob what I said. Tell them all that it's a good trailer. It's a good trailer, Rob.
Don't be a pussy, Chris.
Yeah. Come on, you gotta tell him it's hot garbage.
I'll throw him a tampon up in the corner. Hook that one up to him over there.
I don't want to ruin the show for anybody else. Rob, be up there all mad.
Be like, that trailer. That was an interesting decision. What made you do that?
I don't know, but 98% of the people that I see online, 98% of the comments are just like, what is this? This looks terrible. There's a few people that think it looks okay. The doctor, thinks it looks fresh, might be okay. He's gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Did he say that? I want to hear that audio of Doc saying that while holding yesterday's newspaper. So you don't.
The written comment.
It was a written comment.
Could have been under duress. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it could be good.
I mean, I'll probably watch it at some point.
Just out of morbid curiosity, right?
Yeah.
But Rob, please, stop casting your friends in everything. Don't fit your friends into the role. Fit the actors into the role. Find the right people.
I know we're near wrapping up here, but if we're sending that message out, I think you guys talked about Clerks last week, but Kevin Smith probably should stop doing that too. Stop casting your friends, buddy.
Yeah, that's another one.
Something that Kevin Smith could try is casting actors. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. I'm razzing against the fact that who am I to talk? I cast my friends and stuff too. So
well, there's a difference between like that and say like Martin Scorsese casting Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, and everything that he does. These are good actors. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
I
I
don't know.
want to know is when you're talking about that, I'm sorry. We talked about the Wednesday movie. So Tim Burton's directing it.
It's a
Is Johnny
series. Yeah.
Depp going to be in it?
No. He's just producing.
Tim Burton, everything.
You know he's
he does,
stopping
everything
by.
he touches, Johnny Depp is in. Like,
I think Johnny needs a vacation.
I hope we see him again in good films.
yeah.
Well, Pirates he's doing. He just signed whatever. Huge money to do.
How
No,
are they
Pirates.
doing another Pirates movie? How?
That was a clickbait story. Somebody said
was?
they made a joke. We're like, oh, you wouldn't do it for 300 millions and alpacas? And some stupid website said that he's doing it for $301 million.
There's
Like, it
no
was
way
like
they're
an
doing
story.
another Pirates movie.
They
If
are.
you'd like to hear a concept for a future Pirates movie, may I plug my podcast again?
Absolutely.
Yes, plug it.
We
Yes.
conceptualize. So the studio demands it. You can find it on all platforms. But you can go to studiodemands.com. We actually did an episode this past season where the demand that we got from one of our listeners was to pitch another Pirates movie. And we conceptualized one using the ship of Theseus as our backbone for the story. And in our season finale wrap up, we got a couple more ideas from listeners where the main character of a future Pirates movie would be the red-headed girl who's being sold in the ride. She was originally being sold as a wife to pirates. The Disney ride updated it so that she's actually the one who's now a pirate captain holding the auction. So she would be the main character of the movie, and it would be Karen Gillan playing her. So if you want to hear what that movie would end up being like, you can head on over to Studio.
Do you have what they always have is some like one sort of magical mythological thing in it? You got that too? What is that?
Well, we because
You
the Pirates
can't ruin it.
The Pirates
well,
of
it's
the Caribbean.
normally
Yes.
in the title.
If you'd like
Go watch
a
it.
hint, you could check out our episode. But we use the Bermuda Triangle to take the Pirates of the Caribbean to the Pirates to be in the Mediterranean and deal with some Greek myths.
Ooh,
Oh, there you go.
that's cool. I
Interesting.
like that.
Ooh.
Changing it up.
Yeah, and
Pirates of the
one final-
Mediterranean.
Pirates of the Mediterranean. They're of the Caribbean. They're not pirates in the Caribbean. That's the gimme right there.
Pirates of the Caribbean in the Mediterranean. That would be the movie title.
I like it.
But
I love it.
One more plug for our finale. If you want to hear a full cast table read, a 2.5 hour, 2 hour, 20-minute film of The Amazing Spider-Man 3, it is a sequel to No Way Home, as well as the 2 Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans. If you do want to hear that will be premiering on the 24th of this month on studiodemands.com, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. We put it everywhere. So
Very cool.
For that.
Yeah, absolutely. No show next week. We're going to be celebrating Dr. Destruction is inducted into the Worldwide Horror Hall of Fame.
I'm bringing a tape measure for my head.
So he can measure it in person, and he can't say that he lost the measurements.
Oh, Daniel said Rob checked out my page.
Oh, man, Chris.
Daniel
checked out your page too. You're screwed.
Hope you didn't check out my page.
Your MySpace page. I think you missed a word there. It was the MySpace page.
MySpace.
Yeah, me too.
I love MySpace.
I do too.
Tom and I on Talking Weird with Dean Bertram this Saturday night at 11 p.m. Central. We'll post a link on our Facebook page. We're going to be talking about our trip on Sunday. We're going to Plainfield, Wisconsin to visit the resting place of Ed Gein, a couple of his pals. And we're going to see some sights. So that should be pretty exciting. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with somebody new, somebody fresh. I don't know who. We don't have anybody booked yet. But if you're interested in coming on the show, send us an email. Get in touch with us.